My name is Bayo Joachim, and this is my story. I grew up in Nigeria, in a part of the country that is referred to as the Southwest area. And I grew up in a fairly rural community, and I grew up poor. So in a sense, it has given me some motivation to strive for education. It was important, as for most of my age mates, it was a ticket out of the poor environment in which we grew up. We knew that if you went to school and you did your job well, in other words, you took your studies seriously, in a sense, at least for us at that point, the sky was the limit. And so that motivation was there for me, and that was why I kept pursuing education. Plus, I had 3 older sisters, and only one of them, the youngest of my 3 older sisters, actually went to school and was a teacher. So her influence on me has been tremendous. Since I grew up in a fairly rural area, the open field was very much available to me to just roam around. And besides that, there was no issue of crime, plus also the communal aspect of the situation in which I grew up was such that even though I lost my parents early in life, I did not know the impact of that, because aunts, uncles, cousins, they were all around, and they sort of filled in the role of parents for me. And that, again, that communal aspect is still significant to me today. While I was in Nigeria, I enjoyed listening to the radio, music, news, and during my time growing up, we had a transistor radio, so you could just put, all you needed was batteries in the radio, and I enjoyed that. So I just took an interest in communication from that perspective. When I applied to come and study in the United States then, I chose to study broadcasting. And that was what brought me to Whittington College in Illinois. So I got my undergraduate degree in broadcasting. And then for my master's degree, I decided that I was going to do audio production. But then when I went into that master's degree, I also discovered other aspects of communication. And actually, I finished my studies at KU for the PhD degree, still in the line of communication. But at this time now, I was interested in how communication functions in the legal process. Then I went to the UK, where I studied international law and international relations at the University of Lancaster, England. After that, I went to the University of Edinburgh, Scotland, to study criminology. Because again, while I was here before then, I used to go to Western Missouri Correctional Center, and I was interested in just understanding the criminal mind, or just how that, some of the factors that contribute to crime. I think, in fact, I often say that if it were not for the fact that I need to earn a living, I think I could be a student for the rest of my life. Just honestly, I see teaching as a caring relationship. I often say that others will not care how much you know until they know how much you care. So the ability to connect with students and to see the potential in them and to help contribute to their formative years. And that's what has kept me in this position, because as I look in terms of the degrees I've had, I could be working maybe for the United Nations in one capacity or another now, or just out in the other industries. But the ability to connect and just get in touch with younger, fresh minds every semester, that keeps me going.
I changed my major about 6 months ago from elementary to communication, and I changed it because I had 2 friends who were in the communication department. Bayo was actually the first person that I knew of in this department, and everything they said about him just sounded so interesting. And when I started signing up for classes for this semester, they told me, like, you have to get a class with Bayo, take intercultural with Bayo. He's amazing, you'll love it. He really makes the effort and will talk to you personally and share his stories, like I said earlier. And I think he has a lot of knowledge to share with all of us, and he loves to share it.
Listening to people and trying to understand them and connect with them is one thing, again, that I've been taught in terms of my faith. But understanding people too means that I need to reach them where they are and try to come alongside them. So if they are hurting, if there's anything I can do, it is an obligation on me to do it without them even asking. Mm-hmm. It is also what has contributed to my outreach beyond just Maryville to Haiti. As I reflect on how far I have come, again looking back to where I began, to see where I am now, one of the ways I think I can just show my gratitude to God too is to be a channel of blessing to others. The journey started in 2008 when one of my colleagues here, Professor Mike Bellamy, in the chemistry department, who was at the Maryville post office.
Pretty early on, I was at the post office mailing some things, and I saw Bayo there, and I was getting ready to go to Haiti and over Christmas break, and I just just said, hey, you want to go to Haiti? He said, sure. And so we went, and he loved it, and he was a great fit, and that's how we got started.
It was such an eye-opening experience. We were only there for 1 week, but when I came back for 2 weeks, I was haunted by the face of 2 particular students, but one of them in particular, just Haitian children. I couldn't get them out of my mind for 2 solid weeks. So I told myself, I've got to go back, and have been going ever since then. In terms of what we actually do there, in 2010, Haiti was hit by that high magnitude earthquake that brought about just significant damage to the country. When we went back in the summer of 2010, there were children in tents just on the property that we had purchased. So we took responsibility for them and decided to build a school starting from kindergarten up, still continuing just 1 year at a time with regard to the high school. And God has been so faithful and generous in providing, and we're able to get the school up to the 13th grade, which is the system in Haiti. And we've had at least 4 sets of graduates now, high school graduates from that school. As a result of the young children that were on that property, we ended up having an orphanage, taking care of the younger ones. And while the situation in Haiti has changed significantly, we've now transitioned from just the traditional orphanage model. We still take care of those kids who were in there then, but as many of them as we have connected them to any known relatives. And those who are still going through the educational system, we pay for their uniforms, for their school fees, for their medical expenses, and they come back regularly to pick up food supply. But perhaps the greatest maybe reward for me, I should say, maybe not so much even the impact that I'm making on them, but what has been the reward for me is meeting twins, a brother and a sister.
So we were down in Haiti and just checking on the school and the different things that we run. And Bayo comes walking across the street holding this baby that looks like it was going to die any second.
But I met these twins in 2013. They were 3 months old then. And when I visited with them, the boy, when I held him in my hand, I honestly felt that he was going to die. That literally he could die any minute in my hands. And that terrified me. And honestly, I prayed under my breath and said, Lord, don't let this boy die.
And he said, this baby is sick. And I looked at it and I said, oh, that baby's starving to death. And what had happened was across the street from our mission, the mom and dad had died, and there was like 9 kids. The oldest was a 20-year-old girl. They had nothing. They were literally starving to death. There was these 2 babies, and they were just feeding them sugar water, trying to keep them alive. And they were, you know, the one especially was maybe hours from death, I think. And then, you know, Bayo went down to the market, found some baby formula, started feeding his babies, and they lived.
So that was how I ended up adopting the whole family. And I'm still very much in touch with them today. And praise God, the twins now, they are 9 years old. They will turn 10 in March of 2023. And there has been a significant change in their lives. And that has made a significant impact on me.
And they're really part of his family now. And I mean, there was a lot to that story. Again, all of the people in our Haitian staff, I was mad because I thought, you've literally got these kids starving across the street and you guys are getting fat. You know, why didn't you do something to help them? And there was another mission close by, and I said, why didn't you guys help them? You know, so again, there's just the same story over and over again. He saw starving babies, and he said, I'm going to do something about it. Whereas a lot of people see starving babies, and they just, force it out of their minds. So he still is close to them, and he supports them, and is basically their dad.
My goal and my desire is that I will be able to spend more time in Haiti when I retire from teaching. That I wouldn't have to worry about having to come back because school is starting. If I need to stay there for a whole month or even 2 months, that I'll be able to do that. That is assuming, of course, that the security situation there improves. Because if I'm there and I'm not able to move or do anything, then I really wouldn't be useful in that sense. So that's my goal. I think again, when I first went, I did not know really what I was going to meet. I just wanted to go out and meet whatever needs there were. Just go and serve. That was the thing. And of course, it was going to be for 1 week of my summer. No big deal, I thought. But after seeing the situation there, and then remembering my own upbringing, I realized that I was in their shoes some years back. And many of them are poor, but they're also very rich in terms of their attitude. They are very giving, and money is not everything. And just the warmth that I enjoy in seeing them. Oh, can you imagine? Okay, I meet people who cannot afford to take their kids to the hospital because they don't have something as simple as $3 to pay for the card to register, not to talk of buy medicine. And to be able to do that, to help people like that, so it keeps pushing me to go back. And especially, again, the two kids that I talk about, I think of them as my children now, really. So my heart is with them, and I long to see them on WhatsApp and talk with them. It's always refreshing for me. And the boy, I still spoke with him last week, and it never fails. Anytime he will say, "When are you coming? When are you coming?" Because I haven't been there for a year now. He's always asking, "When are you coming?" To see the change in the lives of those children, I mean, it's something that you just can't quantify in terms of, say, reward.